Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on your inspiration station here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you. Also, those joining us through our online affiliates around the world, we're glad to have all of you with us as well. Recording artist Cedric Ballard is making his first appearance on our program this year to talk to us not only about his musical ministry, but also what it's been like for him to use his public platform to be able to encourage others and inspire them and to be able to see their own personal greatness as well. Cedric is gearing up for the release of a brand new single at the end of this month called Lifting Jesus. You guys will be hearing that single a little bit later, and we'll let you all know today how you can be able to pre-order it for yourself to be able to have it for the release date. Cedric, hello to you, and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Cyrus, for allowing me to be a part of your show, and thank you so much for all your listeners, man, who are able to hear us right now. This is a good day, man, for real.
Right, it is. And you've been having a good year, Cedric. I mean, as I said, you're gearing up for the release of this new single at the end of this month. But what has it been like for you, Cedric, to not only reflect on what you've been able to do, but also the people that you've been able to reach?
Well, I want to say this, man. It's been nothing but, just the favor of God that's been allowing me to be able to share my message that he has given me with a lot of amazing young and older people. This platform, the social media platform, is here for a purpose. It's here to make sure that we are to reach people beyond, our reach and beyond our four walls that we're in. And hopefully everybody uses their platform. I know it doesn't happen all the time, but for a positive reason, for productive reasons, to lift people up instead of always seeing people tearing people down. And so I'm just glad that I get to say something positive, something strong, something encouraging, something inspiring that will help someone's day, week, or month, that will change their lives, change their families' lives. And I want to be able to do that for the rest of my life. And there's nothing but God that gives me the ability to do that.
Right. And you reflected during the month of October, Cedric, on the past 20 years for you. I mean, when you kind of look at the journey, and you talk about the journey a lot on social media, in particular on Facebook, I noticed, what do you think has been the key to your being able to not only to be able to hold on to your faith, but to allow yourself to be used the way you have been?
I think the biggest thing is always believe that God gave you something to say to you, to say to people. I've always believed that there was something God put in me in order to share with the masses. It doesn't matter whether there was 5 people listening or whether there was 5,000 or 50,000. I just still felt like God gave me something to basically say to people that would lift them up, and having the ability to have enough consistency and persistence in order to continue to do it every day. Most people give up, if one person doesn't listen to them, or if they don't have 50 million, followers. I don't care if I'm helping one or helping 1 million. I still want to be able to say something that's going to impact a person's life.
Yeah. So where does that come from, Cedric? Because we both know that even though we would like to believe, you mentioned, I had to smile when you said about, you would hope that people would use the platform that we all have these days to be able to do something that is positive and upbuilding. Unfortunately, that is not the case. But, I mean, where do you think it came from the beginning about realizing the importance of keeping yourself out of the way and staying in a place where you could be used?
Well, I saw what negativity did to people. I've always been up close and being around people. Growing up in church and being in the music industry, I've always been around a bunch of people, and I saw what negativity did to a person's esteem, self-esteem. I saw what it did to a person's self-value or self-worth. To them, it ain't funny, it ain't cool. It's a situation where they don't benefit from it, and neither does the person that's doing it. The only thing that happens is it causes another person who's doing it to someone else a sense of control or feeling like they're better than someone else. And I didn't really need to have that. I already know that God has made me who I am, so I don't need to bring someone else down in order to make me feel better about myself. So my whole goal is to make someone feel just as good as I feel. And I feel like that's something that I've always tried to do, even when I was at a young age. We do stupid stuff, we do crazy stuff, But at the end of the day, when you find your purpose, your goal and your purpose is what you want to always be guilty of doing every day. So I just find myself always wanting to make someone else feel great because I feel great. It ain't easy every day because, it's always something. There's always an obstacle coming in your way. But as much as you can help somebody, that's the goal for me,
Right. I think that's it, and I think that is a big thing for all of us to be able to remember. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're welcoming Cedric Ballard to our program today. Cedric is gearing up for a big release end of this month. We're going to fill you in on that, but we're talking to him about the journey, about the process of getting to where he is, what's helped him to be able to do that. Humility is not something that's encouraged in the world that we live in. Cedric, you mentioned earlier about the likes and the follows, and I think a lot of times we all get kind of, caught up in that, or we have a tendency to look at that more than we should. I think, the great thing about what you've been able to do is it's not about the number. It is about the quality of the conversation. You use a lot of inspirational thoughts on your social media. One of the ones that I wanted to talk to you about, though, was the importance of realizing your own value. How has that helped you along this experience to realize that you were put here for a reason and that you were created for a purpose?
I think the biggest thing that self-value helps out with what a lot of people lack right now, and that is being aware of who you are beyond the numbers of people that may follow you. Because we're in a social media-driven age and generation, we base who we are on how many people who are following us and who are listening to our message. And I've just and let me be clear, I want everybody to follow me. I would love it. I want 30, 40, 50 million followers. But the reality is when you're on purpose says, I'm going to still do it. I'm going to still be positive. I'm going to still lift people up, even if I got 10 followers or 20 followers. So it's not the number that follows me. It's basically what's inside of me that will cause people to want to follow me. And so the reality is that being very aware of your value of self causes you to basically say, you know what? It's not me waiting on somebody to validate me and validate who I am. I know who I am. God made me who I am. So let me just be who I am, and I believe I will attract everybody who needs to be in my path. And that's what I try my best to do.
Right. And in doing that, you have been able to not only remind people of what's possible for them, but how they can be of service as well and be used as well. What has that part of the experience been like for you, Cedric, to realize that by you being able to walk in your own purpose, you've been able to help other people to be able to identify theirs?
I believe it's, like I said, it's nothing but the favor of God, because I know nobody has to listen to you. That's the biggest thing about the industry that we're in the entertainment industry. Nobody has to listen to you. Nobody has to feel like what you have to say matters to them. But when it is something that's practical and that's relevant, it can't do anything but hit the target. And so what it has done for me is it has made me feel like, it has made me realize that, man, it's power in positivity. It's power in being able to lift some people up. It's power in being able to inspire somebody else. And it's not always a me type of thing where I'm the one waiting on somebody to lift me up. But I feel like what I make happen for somebody else, I got a feeling that God is going to bring some folk in my life that's going to make that same thing happen for me. So I believe that's kind of how the law of reciprocity works. You give, and God will bring some people into your life to give right back to you. So you're never going without. And so, that's really been a joy for me. I mean, it gives me life.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think, again, for you, a lot of that platform has been music. Music is definitely not my particular gift that I have. I think this platform is more suited toward the gifts that I've been given. But music is that thing for you. And music is something that people turn to be inspired, to be uplifted, and to be encouraged, to get pumped up. Is that what music has done for you, Cedric, to be able to provide that, that means to be able to keep you moving forward too?
Definitely is what that is. I can tell you right now, Cyrus, music is a universal language. When you can't communicate with someone, I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you are socially. I don't care where you are financially. I don't care where you are economically. If you are in front of a radio, or you put a CD in, or you go online and you're listening to some music, I don't care what it is. Music will speak to you. It has messages that it will give you beyond if you were actually able to listen to someone talk to you. So what I was able to do, thank God, was able to tap into not just the music component of it, but the message in which needs to be, spread abroad amongst the world within the music. Because music alone, which we all know this, music alone is great. We get it. We got a lot of good music on the radio, a lot of great hype music that really can get your attention, but the message can fall on deaf ears. So if you don't have a message within your music, and I realized that's what helped me when I was at my lowest, it's the message within the song. This songs that I listened to 20 years ago, Cyrus, that I still remember verbatim, word for word. And there's other songs that I've listened to around the same amount of time. I remember the melody, but I don't remember the words because the message never hit me. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that really stick with you. That's what I've always wanted to do, is have music that I produce, write, sing, whatever it may be, that's going to have a message that's going to be lyrically sound and have substance, to where 10, 15 years down the line you can listen to that, tap it on your phone, pull it up on your phone, and you can say, man, it is lifting me up now the same way it did the first time I heard it. And there ain't too many people doing that kind of music nowadays, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I think that's a great segue to the single that you're gearing up to release, Cedric, that is Lifting Jesus. Now, I've had the luxury of being able to hear the entire song. Our audience will get the privilege of being able to hear it here, but we'll let them know how they can be able to have it for themselves at the end of this month. How does this particular song come about for you?
Well, it was really inspired by a music mentor of mine, and we were communicating and talking about different songs from our past that we used to listen to, where the song wasn't typically talking about your life, directly. It was indirectly talking about a story that basically could be in comparison to something that she went through. And so we began to talk and sing and write it down, and as we were writing it down, it was like, man, wait a minute. I'm born and raised in the church. Hymns are things I used to love to listen to and basically sing and play. And hymns aren't talking about the person that's basically in the situation, because most of the people who wrote hymns are dead now. But they write a story that basically you can relate to. And that's what I wanted to make sure I did. Have a story that I could sing and send out that you can relate to when you listen to it. And so the song Lifting Jesus is a song that when I write about it, you're able to basically put yourself in the story of the music. And so I believe it's going to be something that's going to be amazing. I believe that when it comes out, it's going to be something that when you listen to it, it's not only going to be inspirational, but also it's going to be relevant and uplifting and give some hope in a situation that people may find themselves as kind of dark and gloomy. So I pray that once you listen to it, not only will you be able to pick it up online, download it, upload it, do whatever it is, but I want you to basically make sure you internalize it, because the message is so strong. And it's really, at the end of the day, about lifting Jesus.
Right. Well, for those that have not had a chance to hear it, here is the single Lifting Jesus by Cedric Ballard. We'll be back with our final moments with Cedric right after this.
I had a talk with someone that I loved, but he did not know who I was. With tears in my eyes, I prayed he'd recognize me, for I was his child. Then, in a while, he looked into my eyes and realized that he knew me. The tears left my eyes, and the joy filled my heart, for he knew that I was his child. He said, I can't tell you believed in Jesus. Yeah. Come my way, Lord, let your spirit overwhelm me in such a way that men might say, sure, you look like you've been lived in Jesus. Lift him up. Still he speaks from eternity. Oh yes, he does. He said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I'll draw all men unto me. He said, I can tell you believed in Jesus. No greater words could ever come my way. Lord, let your spirit, I want it to overwhelm me in such a way that men might say, sure, you look like, I said you look like, something about the way you walk, you look like, the way you talk, the way you smile, hey, sure, you look like you've been lived in Jesus. Hey, child, you look like you've been lived in Jesus. The one who's kept us, never left us, Lord. It looks like you've been lived in Jesus. Sweet Jesus, my great deliverer, Jesus, my redeemer, my way maker, Jesus. Something about when we call him, there's something about when we call the name Jesus. The one who holds my hand, Jesus. The one who makes me strong, Jesus. The one who leads me, the one who guides me. Oh, Jesus. Child, it looks like you've been lived in Jesus. Child, it looks like.
That again was Lifting Jesus by recording artist Cedric Ballard. As we talked about, that song will be available at the end of this month. You all can go ahead and pre-order it now, and Cedric's going to let you guys know how you can do that here in a bit. You know, Cedric, I want to go back to how we kind of began this conversation, because as I said, you use social media to not only to be able to tell people about the single, you have a great lyric video you created there to tease the single as well, but also to share some inspirational messages. I wanted to share one of those messages because I thought it was something that our audience would appreciate and have us kind of talk about it as we wrapped up here. I think so many times, we allow other people to tell us what is not possible for us. We allow other people to be able to allow us to know who we are and, of course, what we're supposed to be doing. You posted recently on Facebook the meme that says, I am learning to love the sound of my feet, walking away from things not meant for me. And I think so many times that when we kind of look at what is holding us back, either from achieving the things that we want or walking in the purpose and calling that we have, is because of something that we're holding on to. Talk to us about the freedom you've been able to enjoy by walking away and letting go, and how you've been able to share that with other people.
Yes, Cyrus. Most of us see ourselves through the lens of others, people that we basically deemed important in our lives. So basically, whatever they say we are, and we do this indirectly, sometimes subconsciously, that's basically how we view ourselves. when people look at us and people around us, that we really value their opinion and value how they think and how they feel. Sometimes they can share something with us, and it may be in a joking manner. You know, man, you crazy, or man, you always do this or you always do that. And you internalize those things. And so you see that through the lens of other people's opinions and perceptions. And until you're able to free yourself and realize that you create the perception, not their perception, because their perception isn't your reality, you begin to be able to mold and shape your own perception of who you believe you are. And when you do that, it becomes so much more liberating to walk in your own your newness, your own likeness, your own self. And you're not ashamed by it because you are happy with who you are, because God made you that person. And so it's just coming out of the mold. And when I said I'm happy to walk away from all things that may not be meant for me, the reality is what is meant for you may not be meant for me. What makes you happy may not make me happy. But the reality is I can respect what makes you happy, and hopefully you can respect what makes me happy, and we can still coexist with one another, which is a major thing that's happening in our world today. Is everybody's feeling like we got to think the same, be the same, walk the same, and talk the same, be the same color, or if we don't, we're enemies, and that's not the case. God put us all together. God gave us distinct characteristics, and we ought to walk into those things, because all the things that we are give God glory, and it don't mean we're going to be the same. But as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do and called to do, God will get the glory out of our life, and we can live the best life we are supposed to live. And I want to say right here, Cyrus, now, you know, I'm in Houston, Texas, so we're celebrating the Houston Astros, who were underdogs, and we are excited right about now. And, man, I'm telling you right now, we've been partying since last night, so I'm a little hyped. If you hear my voice being a little excited, it's because we're in party mode right about now.
Right. Well, look, I know you all have a lot to be able to celebrate for sure, and that's definitely understandable, I think, for a lot of people. And you, of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, Cedric, have a lot to celebrate for this year. Not only, of course, the win by the Houston Astros, but also the great year that you've been able to have as well. Again, everyone, Cedric Ballard has been our guest. His new single, Lifting Jesus, is coming at the end of this month. You all can go ahead and pre-order it now. So, Cedric, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you, and how can they go ahead and pre-order the single?
You can always go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and go to @Cedric Ballard, CEDRICBALLARD, or you can go to www.cedricballard.com. Of course, my music will be on all digital outlets, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Tidal, Spotify, everywhere. It'll be all over the world, and all you have to do is pick it up. The name of the single is called Lifting Jesus, and it will be out November 24th. You can pre-order it on November 7th, and make sure you have it so that when November 24th gets here, it'll already be in your music library. So I hope and pray that we're able to stay connected, and as we connect, hopefully we'll help lift Jesus together.
All right. Congratulations to you again, Cedric. Appreciate the time, and looking forward to speaking with you again, man.
Thank you so much, Cyrus. I look forward to the opportunity again, and I just believe that the next time we talk to each other, we'll have a few Grammys and awards under our belt.
All right. There you hear it, everyone. Again, everyone, Cedric Ballard has been our guest. Make sure you all are staying connected with Cedric, as you heard him mention. CedricBallard.com is the website, and also, of course, find him on social media as well. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Cedric. Don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site, so head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb, or go over to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share it with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. You all make it a great one.